Good afternoon, everyone. T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG. It's 3:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. We have a little bit of movement. DGB's up 8.24%. So what we were talking about earlier, which path are we going to take? Well, DGB hasn't broken out, but it has broken up. We're going to see if we can test this 6.8 up here, or if we're just going to use this 5.9 as resistance and come right back through. So let me get out into the little longer time frame so you can see. So we're going to see, remember earlier we talked about these break points right up here. If we could break past here and show some confluency, maybe we could make a little bit of a run up and it would be the W there. But I suspect that this is going to end up being at this part of the pattern. It'll end up turning into like the M or something weird. Because you've already got this, you've got this. Now, if it really did come down and then bounce around, now you got like this M in the pattern. So come up to like there. That's not anything out of the ordinary. But if it does come up to here, then you'd expect maybe a pull down and a bounce up here and then a come down. So we're going to have to watch this closely. This is with Digibyte, one of my favorites. We showed a few paths earlier. I'm personally waiting for the double bottom, because even if it moves up here, it's got to come back down and double bottom at some point before a bigger run up, in my opinion. Could you get 10% off of this? Maybe. It did get up to like 8.7%. So now we look at the rest of the market. So not much volume here. See what DGB does with the push up. It got a spike of volume right here. That pushed it up to 63 million. Let's see where that exactly came. So that was in this one time stretch of 56 million. So that was about 11 times the amount of average volume in that stretch. 10.5 times. Now we go over to the next hour, because that's the critical part. We're still going up. So half of that was up, half of that was the pullback. So now we look back, we go to the next one, 7.24 million, and there's only 49 minutes left in this hour, or 11 minutes. So we've already used 49 minutes. That means the volume has significantly got cut. So now we have to look, is this some kind of a fake out that's only going to have one more layer, and by the time we get to 6.4, it's going to run out of gas? Well, I can't answer that question. I'm not a financial advisor. Should you take my advice? No motherfucking way you should. But if you do, pay attention to what the charts are saying, because there's nothing worse than hearing to somebody bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning when all the information's right here in front of you. So this is what we're looking at. Like I said, that could be a firm double bottom. It really could. But I'm looking for that inverted head and shoulder pattern right here, which, for this to complete what I'm seeing in my head, it went down like that. Coming around, it can come up and dick around even if it wants, but I'm seeing it down here again before it ever gets back up there. This big W with a big M in the pattern in the middle of it, with a finishing off the W on the bottom. So it can go up if it wants to. I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to break that 6.8 line, in my opinion. With this, I'm not sure it's going to break much above. It's at 6.1. I could see maybe 6.5. But I'm looking for the much larger play. I don't want to get in and out with the crypto fees and the taxes. I'm not looking for all that. I'm looking for a specific play. It hasn't met that, so I'm going to base it on the technicals. There can always be these bounces that, it happens off pattern, but for me to succeed and for me to follow a game plan, I must follow my technicals, and it's led me very good so far. And if you miss out on a few, you miss out on a few. But at the end of the day, when it hits the technicals and does what it needs to do, you're not leaving it up to your emotion. So that's what I'm seeing. It's a technical double bottom. So with DGB, just be very careful. If you're already in, I would certainly let that ride and see what happens here. But also being optimistic and cautiously aware that 595 line, you want to stay above at all costs. So just for the fact that you guys are in this, watch that 6.1 line, and if you see the need, that if it comes down too far. But this to me just looks like standard operating procedure now. Came up, now it's probably gonna have to come up again, maybe test that line, and then maybe do what I was saying with that, with what's in the pattern. So far so good with DGB. If you're in it, pay very close attention to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin you know, could very well go up and do what DGB did a little bit. But Bitcoin would need to find some volume, as DGB did. So what I'm seeing right now, if I was being honest, like I said earlier, if this can find some volume, it could be okay. But without volume, this, you know, it can run down very quickly. So let's just pay attention. If you're in a position, I wouldn't necessarily cash out yet. I would wait to see. If I was in XRP, I would wait, because if you bought it at $1.08, that's a huge support zone right there. So before you sell out of it, why not let it finish the move? And what I mean by that is, in a move like this, ladies and gentlemen, XRP already came up and did this. Let it finish its move. Why would you want to cut your profits? In my opinion, it would have to come up one more level here. So why not let it finish out the 112? Or hell, even this 116 line I could see XRP going to. So I keep it transparent. I'm going to show you exactly what's going to happen. So in my opinion, like I said, you don't have to fucking believe me. I don't give two fucking shits. I think it's going to go up to 116 possibly. And that would be the small run-up like we talked about earlier. I don't know if it's going to get to 125 before it had a crash down. I certainly don't think it's going to get to 130 before, but I could totally see a move like this and then a back down type of move coming here and then pulling back around. You get that giant inverted head in the pattern as well. But I don't know if it's going to go up to 116. I'm just saying I could see 112. 112 to 116 before it gets rejected. Absolutely. That's what we talked about earlier. There's two paths it can take. I have my orders in for the double bottom. I have no doubt that XRP is going to get a little bit of FOMO here on the weekend and get to 112 or 116. But I'm not going to put myself in that situation of where I got to cash out a fucking 8% gain. You know, or if you get lucky and you can get that push to 116, well, then it's not terrible. You know, from here, that's about 9 cents. That's about 9% after the fees and taxes. I mean, to me, it's not worth it. But if it got to 125, you know, but that's where you have to weigh the decision. I'm giving you every opportunity with what I see on the technical charts to make an educated and informed decision. Mind you, all this is irrelevant if Bitcoin were to fall off. If Bitcoin were to just touch down, it would make all this irrelevant because everything's just going to come down with Bitcoin. I'm not convinced on FOMO Saturday that we don't have another move up for Bitcoin. I'm not. I think Bitcoin's about to touch up again. And what I mean by that is I think Bitcoin is going to do this. I don't see what's wrong with that. Why is there anything wrong with it being able to come up just a little bit? Like, why can't it come up to this level at 47 and get rejected? That's what I would expect out of a move like this. That's why I said there's two moves that can be made. It could either fall off today and come right here, come up here and get rejected and come down here as well. If it finds some volume and gets over, well, that's going to be interesting because then it's got to deal with the 48.4 line. And I don't know if it's got enough steam to get up there with this little volume. Probably not. But I could certainly see Bitcoin hitting that 47,000 if it wants to. Right now, obviously, it's nowhere near it, but that's one of the two roads it can take. I think a lot of times everybody wants to focus on the negative side, but there are also positives within a swing if you're already in it. If you're already in it, I would fucking wait it out and see what happens on this short-term move. I wouldn't want to be on, like I said earlier, I wouldn't want to be in after the futures opens tomorrow, but up until the futures tomorrow, if you're going to have some kind of small run, this would be the time. Some things aren't going to fare as well, though. You know, it's just going to be pick your poison, and if you pick the right one. But to me, DGB was sexy. I said it yesterday. It isn't in that part of the position that I want for the bigger move, but it was definitely appealing to me enough to where I kept talking about it. But I'm not looking for what I think it's about to do right here. Although it could completely surprise me, and these could absolutely come up to the top of the handle, and that's why I keep giving you every opportunity if you want to buy in down here, that you got to make your decision. I can only go off of what I think. I think two things can happen. But at the end of the day, it's your job to make the most informed and educated decision. And if my technical analysis helps you one way or the other, just do it based on the technicals. Because Bitcoin absolutely has a chance right here, ladies and gentlemen, to make a run. And maybe not even get to 48.3, but it could absolutely get to the top to 47,000 and get rejected at the top of this and then come down and finish off this pattern. It doesn't necessarily have to go down. I've drawn two patterns out for you. What can happen? If it goes up from here, it's going to 47,000 and then it can make a play to the top side of 47 or get outright rejected by that level, maybe up to 47.2. If it goes down, it's going down to 42.9, probably stopping at 44.382 again, and then just fall right through. That's it. So don't overthink it. If you're in a position, I would definitely wait to see what happens. If you're not in a position, well, look at these patterns. And like I said, I think Bitcoin can get to 47, maybe. But if you're going to do it, it would have been nice to have done it, you know, at the bottom side when we had that crash. We are in support zones, but there's also mid-tier resistance zones that are going to be up about 7 to 8% from here. So I hope this helps. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you want to join Tom's Army, I'm looking for new members. It helps me keep this content free. You guys know how much work I put in, and if you feel the need to take the extra step, you've been watching for a while and you want to join Tom's Army, my goal is to get up to 200 subscribers at Tom's Army. We're about 10 members short right now. Also, if you want to donate to the community fund so I can do special things for the community, that's always appreciated. You can find that in the video description along with the Tom's Army stuff. And also my Swing Traders Anonymous, my second YouTube channel that's approaching 650 subscribers. Make sure if you're watching this content to go watch that. It does a rundown of everything on my list, from the total crypto market cap to the Tether, from Matic all the way at the top, all the way down to Solana. I do a quick breakdown of every single one of them. That's where if you want to see more than just XRP, XLM, DGB, and whatever I aimlessly talk about, you can see on my Swing Traders Anonymous every single thing on my list. I will go through in a fast pace, I break it down, and then I ask for your input. So make sure you go check that out. And then we come up with a swing trade for the day based on user input. So go check that out. Help me hit the road to 700 subscribers and eventually partner. Also, if you want to check out my Dogecoin in you, that video description is in the link. We just passed 200 subscribers in the first week, so I'm very, very happy about that. It covers Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, both ISO 20022 coins. So if you're interested in the ISO, obviously pay attention to that. And then I know you guys want to see me do a live stream. I'm thinking about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll keep you updated on Twitter. So make sure to follow my Twitter if you want to see when I go live and every up-to-the-minute, up-to-the-date update. Stay blessed, stay tuned, and remember, guys, watch the market because it can flip on the drop of a hat. Stay blessed, everybody. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag own your portfolio.